I'm back with our next chapters in the Freddie Fernortner book. I'm going to be reading chapters 3 and 4 for you today. All three children shrieked. They huddled close. Freddie pointed the flashlight at the tent flap. The tent flap began to open. The three screamed again. The monster tossed back the flap and said, "What's going on out here?" Freddie, Darla, and Chipper breathed sighs of relief. It wasn't a monster after all. It was Freddie's mom. "I brought you some popcorn," she said. "I didn't mean to scare you." "Oh, I love popcorn," Darla said. "Yeah," Chipper said. "Thanks, Mrs. Fernortner." Mrs. Fernortner knelt down and handed Freddie a big bowl filled with hot, buttery popcorn. Then she handed each child a napkin. "Have fun," she said, "and don't scare yourself silly." "We won't, Mom," Freddie said. "She's a cool mom," Chipper said, after Mrs. Fernortner had left. "Yeah, I think I'm going to keep her around," Freddie said. "Sometimes she even lets me eat cookies in bed while I read." "I wish my mom let me do that," Darla said, crossing her arms. Freddie placed the bowl of popcorn in the middle, and the three kids ate hungrily. "Okay," Freddie said, still munching on a mouthful of popcorn. "Let's get started. Here we go." And Freddie read. The story was good. It was creepy. It was scary. But it was a story. And that's why Freddie, Darla, and Chipper didn't get scared. But they were about to, because something scary was about to happen for real. Chapter 4. Freddie had just finished reading a page. Mr. Chewy was next to him, laying down. He had gone to sleep. Again, they heard the owl hoot in the distance. Freddie again hoped that he would see it someday. "Okay," he said. "Chipper, it's your turn to read." He handed Chipper the scary book. "This is a lot of fun," Chipper said. "We should do this again tomorrow night." "Every night," Darla exclaimed. Chipper picked up where Freddie left off. The story was a good one, about a ghost that lived in the basement of an old home. It wasn't a true story, but it was a good story. After Chipper had read a few pages, he handed the book to Darla. Darla was a very good reader, and while she read, she glanced up at Freddie and Chipper and made spooky faces. Suddenly, Darla was interrupted by a terrible sound outside. It sounded like a deep, scratchy growl, but scarier. All three first graders jumped. Darla stopped reading. They huddled close. What was that?" Chipper stammered. I don't know," Freddie replied. "I've never heard it before." "It's a super scary night thing," Darla said. I know it is. That's what they sound like." "There's no such thing as a super scary night thingy," Chipper hissed. "Yes, there is," Darla said. "And that's what they sound like." "It's probably just the wind," Freddie said. Come on, let's go find out." He scooted toward the door of the tent. Are you crazy?" Darla said. "Super scary night thingies can swallow first graders in one gulp." "Who told you that?" Freddie asked. Mr. Chewy was awake now, looking around the tent. Mr. Chewy was awake now, looking around the tent at the three first graders. "My older brother told me," Darla whispered. "Well, if all three of us go and look, the super scary night thing can't get us," Freddie said. "Says who?" Darla said. "Says me," Freddie said. "Come on, let's go find out. It's probably just the wind." "Freddie's right," Chipper whispered. "It's probably just the wind." Chipper scooted to where Freddie was at the front of the tent. "I'll go with you," Darla said, "but just for the record, I don't think this is a good idea at all." "Here," Freddie said, holding out the flashlight for Chipper. "Hold this." Chipper took the flashlight. Freddie unzipped the tent flap. Their scary adventure was about to begin. There they are, getting ready to leave that tent. And that's the end of chapter 4. I'll be back with more.